Hi, I'm Julie Mackay and I'm from Corporate Edge, and welcome to this video blog. And what I want to share with you today is three simple tips to optimize effective communication. Have you ever had a situation where you've been communicating with one of your colleagues, one of your team members, and you felt like it was really crystal clear and you both walked away feeling aligned, and then a few conversations later you start to realize that actually there's been a disconnect? Well, there's an organisation called the We Institute that has done a lot of work around how effective conversations actually are. And what they discovered was that 9 out of 10 conversations didn't actually hit the mark, which is pretty scary when you think of how much time we spend in meetings, how much time we spend communicating to people, and you're thinking, well, what actually is it that's creating that disconnect? Why are 9 out of 10 conversations not actually hitting the mark? Two key reasons that we've discovered. First one is psychological safety. You might be asking, well, what actually does that mean? When we're talking about psychological safety, we're talking about the ability for somebody to actually really speak their truth. Sometimes people will perhaps be telling you what they think you want to hear rather than what's really going on in their mind, because they're afraid of maybe being judged or afraid that there may be some consequences if they actually really speak their mind. So creating that psychological safety, where people don't feel psychologically safe, they may actually not be giving you the truth. Second reason is that we make too many assumptions. So it's a bit like going to a movie, coming out of the movie and debriefing the movie, and somebody has one take on it, somebody else has a completely different take on it, and you're going, wow, okay, I thought we just watched the same movie. And we don't actually clarify understanding. So making those too many assumptions can cause a big problem in communication. And here's the reason why. This is actually what happens in communication. So let's just imagine I'm about to communicate. So I think something, this is what we think happens in communication. I think something, I then say it, they will then hear it, and they understand. And go, yeah, great, happy days. But actually, that's not what happens in communication. This is actually what really happens in communication. I think something, I then encode based on my reality of the world, based on my filter. Then I say it. They will then hear it. And then they will then decode based on their reality of the world, based on their filter. And if the other person's filter and their reality is not aligned to the way you've encoded, or the way I've encoded, then there's going to be a disconnect, there's going to be a problem, there'll be a misalignment in terms of interpretation of what's been communicated. So what will happen is that the person will walk away and they will think they've understood. So 3 simple tips to actually help you optimize that effective communication and minimize, those 2 things where things don't actually hit the mark. First one is to create that environment where people feel safe and there's a high level of trust for people to really, really speak their truth and know that they're not going to be judged. Second is to listen, to learn and connect. In my experience, most people, when they're listening, they're either listening to confirm something that they already think, or they're listening to lead the conversation to a particular outcome. And when we listen to learn, when we listen to connect, that actually helps to build that trust and that safety for people as well. And the third thing is to clarify and confirm understanding. Before you end the conversation, let's just clarify and confirm our understanding of what we've agreed, so that you can ensure that the decoding and the encoding is completely aligned. Thank you for your time, and if you'd like to know more about psychological safety, just click on the link below to download more information. Thanks very much for your time. Take care.